You were 32 years old, and you had nothing to show for it. The job was gone, the relationship was over, and the version of yourself you had been building for a decade had quietly stopped working. Here is what nobody tells you about that moment. That crash was not a malfunction. It was the system doing exactly what it was built to do. Your brain needed to crash before it could reboot. Bug report, identity.exe, process terminated. Status, open since adolescence, reboot pending. Most people who hit a wall before 35 spend years blaming themselves for it. Wrong career choice, wrong partner, wrong decisions made too early, too fast, without enough information. That story is neat, and it is completely wrong. In 2011, researchers at the University of California, San Diego, led by neuroscientist John Gabrielli, published findings on what they called late cortical maturation. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for long-term planning, identity construction, and risk assessment, does not finish developing until your mid to late 20s. In some individuals, closer to 30. Every major decision you made in your 20s was made by a brain that was still under construction. Not metaphorically. Literally. The hardware was still being assembled while you were already running full production software on it. And at some point, the system crashed. Not because you were weak, because the load exceeded the current capacity of the system. Here is what the research says happens after that crash. In 2007, psychiatrist George Valent at Harvard published a longitudinal study tracking 268 men across 7 decades of their lives. It was called the Grant Study. What Valent found? Men who experienced their most significant failures before 40 showed disproportionately higher levels of psychological resilience, career satisfaction, and interpersonal depth in their 50s and 60s, not despite the failures, because of them. The surprising part of Valent's findings is not that failure builds character. That idea has been around long enough to show up on office mugs. It's the specificity of what actually changes in the brain. Neurologist Lisa Feldman Barrett at Northeastern University has documented how repeated high-stress experiences, social and professional failures in particular, force the brain to rebuild predictive models from scratch. Your brain spends your 20s building predictions, models about how the world works, about how effort translates to reward, about how relationships function, about who you are supposed to become. When reality diverges far enough from those predictions, the brain does not just update a few data points. It demolishes the model entirely. This is neurologically expensive. It requires enormous amounts of energy. It produces the fatigue, the disorientation, the sense that you do not know who you are anymore. But it also, for the first time, forces the brain to build something more accurate. Not the map you inherited, not the map your parents handed you, the map that corresponds to the actual terrain of your actual life. One detail from Valent's Grant study that stayed with me. The men who recovered most significantly after failure were not the ones who worked hardest to get back to where they were. They were the men who stopped trying to return to the previous version. This is the workaround, and it works on a neurological level, not an inspirational one. First, stop reconstructing the old identity. This is not a motivational instruction. It is a systems directive. Every time you attempt to rebuild the exact career trajectory or relationship model that failed, you are running a repair patch on a model built on incomplete data. The brain cannot update that model and repair it at the same time. You have to let the old version decompress before the new one can compile. Second, reframe the question. Most men in this position ask, "How do I get back on track?" That question is broken. The functional question is, what does the new model require that the old one never had? That question the brain can actually process, because it does not require defending the collapsed structure. Third, notice what survived. After every structural collapse, certain capacities remain intact. Skills, curiosity patterns, ways of thinking that survived the failure because they were never part of the failed model. These are your actual assets, not the job title, not the relationship status, not the income bracket from before. Those are the raw materials the rebuilt system actually has to work with. Here is the part nobody said out loud. The men who figure things out after 35 do not figure things out because they finally tried harder. They figure things out because the crash removed a specific cognitive load, the weight of the unexamined assumption, the assumption that you already knew who you were. That assumption consumed enormous processing power. The brain was spending most of its available resources defending a self-concept that was never stress-tested, maintaining the performance of someone who had things figured out. When the crash happens, that performance ends, and for the first time, the actual processing capacity becomes available. This is not a metaphor. In 2019, a team at Stanford's Human Performance Lab documented measurable increases in cognitive flexibility in adults who had experienced major identity disruption before age 40. Cognitive flexibility, the brain's ability to shift between frameworks, tolerate ambiguity, and generate novel solutions. The exact capacity that predicts high performance in complex, ambiguous environments. The kind of environments that most people over 35 actually operate in. Unpopular opinion. The education system does not just fail to prepare you for this. It actively trains the opposite. 12 years of one right answer. 4 more years of one right answer. Then a workforce built on performance reviews that measure adherence to existing models. And then, somewhere around 30, reality introduces a problem that has no single right answer. And the brain, trained exclusively on closed problems, has no algorithm for it. The crash is the brain's way of acknowledging that the existing algorithm is insufficient. Put yourself in that position for a second. 33 years old. The structure you built is gone. The story you told about yourself no longer compiles. What you are actually experiencing in that moment is not failure. It is the most neurologically productive thing your brain has ever done. A question worth sitting with. What do you think is actually happening in the people who never crash, the ones who optimize early and stay optimized? Perfect LinkedIn trajectories. According to the longitudinal data, they are significantly more likely to hit their first major identity crisis after 55, when the tools available for rebuilding are considerably more limited. The brain at 32 has a plasticity advantage. It hurts more. It feels like catastrophe. But it is running on hardware that can still reconfigure at the structural level. Neuroscientist Michael Merzenich at UCSF spent decades documenting neuroplasticity windows. His 2013 work confirmed that adults in their 30s who undergo what he termed identity reformulation, involuntary reconstruction of self-concept following significant loss, show neural reorganization comparable to adolescent development. Adolescent development. The second adolescence nobody told you was coming. Except this one, unlike the first, you get to experience with a prefrontal cortex that is actually finished loading. The irony is worth sitting with. The decade when most people think they should have it figured out is the decade when the brain is least equipped to figure it out. And the decade that feels like being lost is often the decade where the actual work finally becomes possible. Here is the thing about the reboot. It does not look like a comeback. Comeback implies a return to a previous state. What actually happens is a deployment of a new version, one that runs differently because it was built on accurate data instead of inherited assumptions. You will not be the person you were at 28. You will not recover the certainty you had before you knew better. And you will not experience the specific blindness that made the first version feel possible. You will, however, have something that version never had. A model that was built to survive contact with actual reality. If you are in it right now, somewhere in the wreckage of the thing you thought your life was supposed to be, comment, "Still loading." We want to know where you are in the rebuild. And if you are through it, looking back from the other side of 35 at a version of yourself you no longer recognize, that is not failure leaving a scar. That is the system log, proof that the rebuild ran. Identity.x. Version 2. Status, running. Patch notes, extensive. Known bugs, fewer than before. The old version is still in the archive. It is not deleted, it is just no longer in production.